Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Juniper Vale. Let's have some more World Cup Tarot predictions. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. Let's get to 500 subscribers or more. Yeah. So today I am using the Victorian Phantasmagoria Oracle, the Emerald Knight Oracle, and the Bright Tarot, which is the Rider-Waite just saturated. Today I am doing the June 20th games. Today is actually June 13th for me. It's 3 p.m. Eastern time. So I am a week ahead. The only games I've seen so far are the June 11th and June 12th games. So those are the only ones that I know the outcome for as of now. Let's see. And today we're doing Germany, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, Curaçao, Netherlands, Sweden, Tunisia, Japan. So I don't think any of those teams have played yet. All right. So I do 3 tarot cards for each team, and I do 2 oracles for each team, 1 from each deck. The oracle cards have helped me to really figure out and think through the winners losers aspect. When I just did 3 tarot cards, I found that wasn't enough information. As you can see from my USA versus Paraguay prediction. It wasn't that great. All right, but I'm having a lot of fun and I'm learning a lot. And the whole point of my channel is to help practice tarot. If you'd like to pull cards as well, please leave your comments to who you're getting to win. I love to know who you get and who you think will win. Who's your favorite team? Do you even care about football? I don't really have a big interest in it. This is the first time where I've been interested just because I'm having a lot of fun doing the predictions with the tarot. All right, so first team I'll do is Netherlands versus Sweden. They are playing at 1 p.m. in Houston, Texas. Netherlands versus Sweden. I mean, both teams, I know Netherlands is pretty good. I'm thinking Sweden is as well, but I'm not sure. I know more about Netherlands mainly because of the orange. So yeah, let's see. I think they're both strong teams, but I really don't know. I really don't know. But I think they are. All right. Netherlands on my left, Sweden on my right. Netherlands has the Hanged Man, the Five of Cups, and the King of Swords. Man, I get those Five of Cups and Kings of Swords often. Sweden has the Hermit, the Knight of Cups, and the Lover's card. So Netherlands, Hanged Man. So the Hangman card is interesting. It's my favorite card of the deck. You can think about the Hanged Man as somebody who is dealing with some judgment they got. They may be hanging there because they were forced to. They may be hanging there because they want to. They may be taking this time to observe, right? This person can't go anywhere at the moment. So they are focusing on other things. They are thinking about things. Maybe they are finding enlightenment. They are dealing with what they have to do right now. Five of Cups shows the person who is focusing too much on the spilt cups. They are focusing too much on what goes wrong. But then the King of Swords, I feel like always comes up to me as like a captain or a manager of the team who's in charge, somebody who's keeping it all together, right? They are ready to go. The kings are leaders. They're the highest card of the minor arcana. They know what they're doing. They don't have fear. They're in control. So I got that for the Netherlands. For Sweden, I got the Hermit card. The Hermit is very similar to the Hanged Man in the sense that there is some soul searching. The Hermit is by themselves. they are searching for something, though, they are able to travel, whereas the hangman is kind of stuck. So the hermit is looking, but it's very solitary, which is not that good when you're playing as a team. The Knight of Cups, cups again are about intuition and also social relationships. Um, the knights, this knight is not rushing to get anywhere because he has a cup that he does not want to spill. Right. So, but he's still focused. He's still a knight. He still has a goal accomplishment. He's still dedicated. He knows the path that he needs to take and he's taking it. He's just not rushing it. And then we have the lover's card. The lover's card is about creating bonds, social relationships, partnerships, right? So that to me is good for a team because it makes me feel as though there's a strong partnership maybe between the team members and say the captain and the manager. There is a strong bond amongst the team. So already the cards feel a little bit better for me for Sweden than Netherlands. But let's pull some oracle cards and see what we get. For Netherlands, oracle card that comes up is the bouquet. Sweden gets the heart. So the bouquet is talking about beauty, joy, and gifts. I think that means points. So I'm thinking that Netherlands will score some points. I don't think they'll be shut out or anything like that. But I'm not sure of how well they do yet about winning or losing. Sweden has the heart that talks about love, emotions, warmth, goes great with the lover's card. So that's just their heart is in the game. They're ready to go. They rely on each other as teammates. Um and it's real. Like that dedication to each other is real. So psychologically that's very good. Netherlands gets conjure and Sweden gets corpse. I don't like that for Sweden. Conjure is manifestation, intention, and magic. So they're really manifesting those points, the Netherlands. The corpse card, what is the corpse card about? I don't see it on my little meanings card. Oh, there it is. Decay, lifeless, forgotten. Oof. So this is crazy because initially, before the Phantasmagoria cards, I was all Sweden, pretty much. Netherlands, not looking that great. But then Conjure comes up for Netherlands, which means and it comes with the bouquet, they're conjuring up points, they're manifesting. So even though maybe it didn't look like things were going well, they kind of got stuck up on that 5 of cups and they weren't going many places in the beginning with the hanged man. It looks like they get their way. So they're definitely achieving points. Sweden looks like they're going slow and steady. They have good relationships. There's a bit of a inward looking here, which may bother them psychologically, but then they have the heart, which is great. But then they get corpse, and corpse is like dead in the water. It's like decay, lifeless, and forgotten. Maybe they'll think they scored a point and they'll lose one. Hmm. I was initially gonna go with Sweden, but now I'm going with the Netherlands because that card is very like, ugh. And the Netherlands looks like they're really bringing in the points. So Sweden has their heart in it, but in the end, I just don't think they get it. So I'm gonna go with the Netherlands. Sorry, Sweden. One of my favorite bands is Swedish, The Hives. I was rooting for you guys, but I think it's gonna go to the Netherlands. All right, so who do we have next? We have Germany and the Ivory Coast. So again, Germany, very powerful team. I think I predicted a tie for Germany, against Morocco, which would be a huge deal. Are they playing today? Today is June 13th. No, they are playing tomorrow. Oh, Curaçao. That's who they're playing. Germany is playing Curaçao tomorrow, 14th of June. I wonder how that will go. I mean, if if you think about the teams without looking at any cards, the first thing you think is that Germany's most definitely going to win. But for some reason, I got like a tie in my reading. But I think that was that before I had Oracle cards? It might be. Germany against the Ivory Coast. Again, like I said, Germany, very strong team. Just like Brazil, where it's like Brazil versus anybody, Brazil wins. I kind of feel like the same way with Germany, but I'm trying to go how the cards say. I'm trying to keep my subconscious mind out of it, but then sometimes it's like maybe it's not my subconscious mind, maybe it's my conscious mind, maybe it is my subconscious mind. I don't know. So, 3 cards for Germany. 3 of Wands, 9 of Cups, the Hanged Man. 3 cards for the Ivory Coast. Page of Wands, Knight of Cups, and the Hierophant. So 3 of Wands is good because this is like, again, the wands, enthusiasm, creativity, drive. You need that when you're playing sports. And this person is looking ahead. They're looking forward to the future. Um, Maybe they should make sure they don't look too far in the future and they need to focus on the now. Um, this specific game, they don't want to be overconfident where they're like, oh, Ivory Coast, we're going to beat them. I'm not even thinking about this game. Don't be too overconfident, Germany. You never know. But they do get the 9 of Cups, which is great. Like the 9 of Cups here, he's like the merchant kind of in a way. He's got all those cups. And if you're in the World Cup, you probably want as many cups as you can get. Um, and he looks very proud of himself. So to me, that says a lot of points. I think they're going to score a lot of points. The Hangman in this case with these other 2 cards is interesting because it's like, are they saying I could win this game with my hands tied behind my back? Right? Don't be too confident. You still got to keep your head in the game. But maybe they feel like this is a very easy game for them. And as they're playing, it's just very easy. They're just like, this is nothing. Right? Ivory Coast, they have the Page of Wands. Wands are great. Pages are a little naive, but they're also very hopeful and they're preparing for success. So they also have the drive. But they made me a little nervous, understandable against Germany, especially. The Knight of Cups, again, we had this before. This is a knight who is taking care not to spill the liquid in the cup. So he's not a fast knight, but he's a careful knight. So maybe the Ivory Coast is not a very fast team, but they're very detailed and they're very careful. And then we get the Hierophant. Hierophant is an interesting card to me for sports games. It just says like tradition, like they go by the book. Maybe they are good with not creating penalties, or they are so structured to go by the book. Maybe they argue with the refs a lot. I don't know. But the Hierophant means tradition, so I think in a lot of ways the team, probably the players, have a long tradition of soccer, and that is good, or football, I should say, for them. Um, their heads in the game. They're really focused. What do we get for the Oracle cards? Oracle card for Germany. Oracle card for Germany. We have the Tower, and Ivory Coast, we have the Owl. So Germany has the Tower, which talks about isolation, institutions, and authority. So in a way, it's like they're just talking about that um, they're an institution as a team, right? They're very powerful. Maybe they isolate themselves from the other team, from other, maybe they isolate themselves from each other. They kind of take that time to themselves. Which kind of shows it's like the hanged man, where they're taking that time to think individually what they've done well and what they have not done well. And maybe that's a powerful thing for them. Um, Ivory Coast has the owl, wisdom, insight, knowledge. Very smart team, right? They're wise. They've done their homework on Germany. So I would say they probably have a plan going. That's why they are trying their best to be as detailed and calm as possible. I think they know that probably Germany is a very, they probably have their heads in the game. Like they're very strong with that. And I think Ivory Coast is just preparing themselves as much as possible to do well or at least score some points. For Germany, I have the Resurrectionist. And for the Ivory Coast, I have Restrained. Resurrectionist, you're bringing somebody back from the dead. So even if you don't do well at the moment, you could, you pick yourself up be right by your bootstraps. God complex thief, ruthless. I could see them being a bit ruthless and maybe having a God complex if they think a little too highly of themselves. Remember, I said don't be too confident. I mean, it's good to be confident, but like don't overlook the team you're playing at the moment, no matter how much you think you could beat them with your hands tied behind your back. Ivory Coast is restrained, so that has limitation, obstacles, and oppressed. So I think their skill is just not up to par to Germany. Um, I think they're a good team. They're very smart. They're going to do the best that they can, but I just don't think they are at the highest level that they need to be to beat Germany. So I'm going to go with Germany with this one. And Germany has to be careful to not be too confident in themselves. They don't want to shoot themselves in the foot. Just my advice to Germany, but they're a very strong team. So the cards to me, they make a lot of sense for that. So I feel like it's very safe to go with Germany. That's what the cards say. Just don't be too full of yourselves. Don't look at Ivory Coast as if they're little minions. They might shock you. So who is next? Ecuador and Curacao. Ecuador and Curacao. They are playing in Kansas City, Missouri, which is in the Midwest. Oh, and Germany and Ivory Coast, I forgot to say they are playing in Toronto, Canada. Ecuador and Curacao are playing in Kansas City, Missouri, 8 p.m. Ecuador will be on my left. Curacao will be on my right. All right, Ecuador, what do you got? The devil. Ooh, the Hierophant. Wow, that's very interesting. And the Ace of Pentacles. Curacao has the Ace of Wands, the Six of Wands, and the King of Wands. They got a lot of wands. They got a lot of drive. A lot of drive, Curacao. All right. So Ecuador, the devil. The devil talks about addiction. You can see here that these people are restrained, right? They are chained to the devil. They have to be careful that they do not, maybe they feel like they can't seem to release themselves from something and it's kind of holding them back in the game. But then they also got the Hierophant, and it's very interesting because the Hierophant is a very religious card. So you get the devil and you get religion, tradition. Um, I mean, in Ecuador, I would say that, of course, football is an institution, just like a lot of places. So they have the faith. They feel a little stuck for some reason, but they have the faith that they will do well. Ace of Pentacles. Aces are good. Both teams got aces. Aces are saying, talking about focus and clarity of their purpose. Pentacles are good for physical capabilities when it comes to talking about sports. So they are focusing on their physical capabilities when it comes to this game. That's their main plan. Whereas when you look at Curaçao, they're focusing on their enthusiasm. They have wands, they have drive, they have creativity, their head's in the right spot. Their heart's in the right spot, I should say. The heart's really in it. So that's what they're focusing on. They also have the Six of Wands. They have all wands cards, which is good, I think, for a sports game. The Six of Wands is like they're on the defense, right? So I'm thinking that Curacao has a strong defense. They have all these people set up. It's like they're waiting for the game. They're like ready. They're ready to play. They're waiting. They're ready to play, and they're excited. They're like, come on, let's go. And then we have the King of Wands. So when you get the kings or the queens, I mean, a lot of times you could be talking about managers or captains. This is a leader amongst the team who also is big on that enthusiasm and that drive and saying, we can do this. It's in our hearts. Let's go. Right. So uh, it's Curacao, right? So Ecuador is focusing on their physical abilities, but they're also focusing on that tradition. But there's something kind of in the back of their mind where they're feeling a little stuck on something. Not sure what that is. Curacao is all about the energy, 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 energy. We're going to do well. Energy, energy, energy. Also defense. So let's pull some oracle cards, and it's good for Curacao to have the King of Wands. That means that they have a leader who is there for them. But how is their physical capability? I'm not sure. Oop, Jeez, these cards are very slippery. Slippery cards look nice, but man, they go all over the place when you shuffle. All right, so Ecuador has the mountain. Curacao has the child. So for Ecuador, mountain talks about obstacles, challenges, and delay. So that's that devil card rearing its ugly head. There's going to be some challenges for them in this game, but they have the faith, which is good. They still have that faith. They're not going to let something hold them back, but it's going to be hard. They're going to have some challenges. Curacao has child, beginning in innocence and curiosity. So I think what's interesting about Curaçao is all of their tarot cards are wands. So it's like drive, drive, drive. Let's go. Let's do this. This is fun. We're gonna do this. Right? Kind of like a child. There's nothing in the cards that talks about their physical capabilities or their mental capabilities, right? Are they wise? I don't know. Are they cunning? I don't know. They're I almost feel like they're a little too childish, maybe, but they don't really have anything holding them back. So this is curious. Ecuador got ectoplasm, and Curacao got the resurrectionist. So we've had these two before, ectoplasm and the resurrectionist. Ectoplasm was about like fraud, evidence, spirit energy, fraud. Hmm. Resurrectionist, God complex, thief, ruthless. Spirit energy is interesting for the ectoplasm when it comes to the Hierophant. I think the Ecuadorian team, it feels very like a higher authority is kind of behind them. I feel like they have that because there's some weird doubt they have going on in their head with the devil card and some challenges going on. Maybe they are putting their so much of their focus on their physical capability because their communication isn't that great, or maybe their management or their captain isn't. that strong. So they're going all out on that physical capability. Curaçao is enthusiastic till the end of the day. They are just all about it. But then they get resurrectionist, which is God complex, thief, and ruthless. So maybe they're a little ruthless. Maybe they'll be causing a lot of penalties. Thief. Thief? Maybe they'll steal the game away from Ecuador. Like, I'm not saying in a bad way, maybe they'll just play a bit better than Ecuador because something is holding Ecuador back, but I don't know what it is. And they're focusing so much on their physical capability, but it's like they're not focusing on something else that also needs to be there. Whereas Curaçao is just going full speed ahead on their enthusiasm. They're like, let's just do this. I want to be in the World Cup and now I'm here and we're going to have a great time, right? And that may be all that they need, especially if Ecuador is battling something. That may be all Curacao needs to pull ahead. Huh. I need a clarifier with the tarot because I'm not seeing a clear winner. Psychologically, I'm seeing a winner. So let's do clarifier for Ecuador, the Emperor. Clarifier for Curacao, the Ten of Cups. Huh. So first I would say the Emperor is like the winner, right? The Emperor is old school leadership. I say what goes and that's what goes and I don't care what anybody else says. The 10 of cups though is happy families, right? It is like joy, 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 happy, happy, joy, joy. And it is 10 cups. I mean, that in a way is saying to me a lot of points. So, huh. I mean, it could be that the Ecuador wins, but Curacao is so happy because they've also scored a lot of points. So, maybe it's a game like, I don't know, 4-3. Ecuador wins, but Curaçao's like, look at all these points we got. Oh my God, we're so excited. Right? It could be a tie. Could be 3-3. Ecuador is a little sad that they didn't win, but they didn't lose. And Curaçao is like, "Yay, we didn't lose and we got 3 points," you know? This one's hard to say. Maybe I'm gonna do more do another qualifier. Ecuador, 3, that's a celebration. 3 of cups. Curaçao, ooh, the tower. Ooh, okay, this says it for me. Ecuador's gonna win, but Curaçao, I think they're gonna score a good number of points for them, but in the end, they're gonna lose. I hope Curaçao gets some points. I mean, they sound like a just from these cards, they sound like they're ready to go. They're ready to have like fun too. But in the end, the 3 of cups is a celebration card. That's like, yay, we won. I mean, it's the clear celebration card you could probably get, even more than the 10 of cups. Because the 10 of cups is more about like happy family relationships. And the tower card is like that's like almost like a death card, like no good. You lost. You get knocked down a peg. So I'm gonna go with Ecuador. But I think I'm gonna like Curacao. Mhm. I think I'm gonna like them. I hope they get some points. I am kind of rooting for them now, but I still think Ecuador is gonna win. Who's next? Tunisia and Japan. So Tunisia and Japan are playing um in Mexico, Guadalupe, but they're playing late in the night, so it may already, at least on the East Coast, it may already be June 21st. But they are the fourth team playing on June 20th. Tunisia and Japan, two teams I don't know much about. I think from past readings, I got Japan was very stoic. You know, they're all business. I don't know much about Tunisia though. I don't remember exactly what I got for Tunisia. It didn't stick out to me. All right. So Tunisia will be on my left. Japan will be on my right. It's interesting, no matter how much I shuffle, how many cards, similar cards seem to come up for the teams. So again, post the cards, let me know what you get. It's so interesting to see what people get. I really appreciate the comments. Remember, entertainment purposes only. Don't make any bets on what I say. All right, 3 cards for Tunisia on my left. The World card. Ooh. Ace of Wands. Ooh. Page of Wands. Not bad. Japan. The Tower. Page of Cups. Hangman. Yeah. So the Tunisia, the World card. World card is the completion of the major arcana. If this were like the last game they played before we went to like semifinals or something, I would say that that would be the end of their time at the World Cup. But they still have other games to play. So I'm not saying that. But the World card is a good card. I mean, it's a completion card, but it's kind of like everybody's watching. Maybe it turns out to be a really good game. I had to think about that. The Ace of Wands, again, aces are about clarity, purpose. They're focused, they're ready to go. Wands have that enthusiasm and drive. So they have a lot of enthusiasm and drive going into this game. And they also have the Page of Wands. So they're still a little naive, but they're preparing for success. They're hopeful, maybe a little bit hesitant about things. That was Tunisia. Japan has the tower. Not great. Not great. Something might fall apart a little in the beginning. And but they have the Page of Cups. So they're pretty good with communication. Not as good as they would want to be because they're still a little naive, maybe even with intuition, right? You have that Page of Cups who has a frog in his cup, and it's like, why is there a frog in his cup? Is it actually there? Is he imagining there's a frog in his cup? Or not a frog, I'm sorry, a fish. And then you get the hangman. Hangman, they are taking it easy, thinking about things that they've done. Is their head really in the game? Do they think this is gonna be simple? And does that cause them, problems? Are they not Does their head not in the game? This guy's talking to a fish who may or may not be there. So, what's going on with Japan? Who do they play first? They play Netherlands. Very hard team. Maybe something happens in that game and they're just kind of like all over the place. They just don't seem focused. Whereas Tunisia, are they as strong as Japan? I don't know, but they got the drive. And I think, with the world card, it's kind of like saying Tunisia is just like they're tanking it all in, like they're having a good time. Like they're not letting things really get to them. They feel like they have a lot of opportunity. The whole world's behind them. And maybe that's how it feels for them. Like they're so excited to be there. They feel like, it's a good headspace to be in, right? If you're playing. Japan doesn't look like they're in a good headspace right now. So Tunisia, Oracle card, bouquet. Japan, Oracle card, anchor. So bouquet talks about gifts, beauty, and joy. I feel like in the past, I feel like that says points. Somebody's scoring some points. They just have a very good outlook. They're really here for it. Good on you, Tunisia. Good on you. Also, when you get a bouquet, you're kind of celebrating or somebody's celebrating you, you know? It's kind of like it's like a gift, right? The anchor is interesting for Japan because the anchor talks about stability, profession, work. So they have a strong foundation. So they probably are very good physical capabilities. Mentally, they're usually quite strong, but it seems like they're not focused. So an anchor can ground you or it could make you stuck somewhere, right? This anchor is about stability. So I think they still have that stability, but is something making them feel stuck? Huh. So phantasmagoria, death, death for Tunisia, and wax mannequin for Japan. Well, death isn't a great card. Ending, change, destruction. Oh boy, Tunisia. I think you tried. But wax mannequin, facade, stagnation, and loss of identity. Something going on with Japan. They're just not there. They're not focused. I don't know if the game against the Netherlands really upsets them, but neither one of these teams has a particular good outlook in a sense of winning or losing. It could be a 0-0 tie in a way, or maybe I don't know. That death card is not good for Tunisia. So let's do some clarifiers. One for Tunisia, the High Priestess. One for Japan, a Ace of Pentacles. High Priestess has done her homework. She is learned. She has studied. So even though Tunisia looks like they're all fun and games, they still did a lot of practice, a lot of studying before this game. Japan, Ace of Pentacles. They also have the focus of physical capabilities. They have a lot of physical capabilities, which is good. So even if their mind isn't completely there, I think it's saying that they have stronger physical capabilities than Tunisia, and that's what Japan is focusing on. Should I do another clarifier? Maybe one more clarifier for each. Tunisia, the Empress, Japan, Page of Pentacles. So Japan has the Page of Pentacles, which is good. They are definitely focusing on that. It's almost like they for this game they're focusing more on their athletic ability, whereas in previous games they may have focused more on studying past games and thinking logically about things. And maybe for the Netherlands game, it doesn't work out for them, so they're trying something new. Um, Tunisia, the Empress. The Empress is a good card. I mean, it talks about rebirth. They get death and then they get rebirth. I don't know, Tunisia. You are a I don't know what's going on with you guys. You're just happy to be here. Uh the Empress is about nurturing. So you have the High Priestess, and then right after that you have the Empress, and that follows in the this is the 2 card, this is the 3 card. I don't think Tunisia's gonna win, and that still comes apart because of the death card. Japan's a little all over the place with their mind, but they're good physically. I'm not getting any physical cards for Tunisia. I just getting let's have some fun. So I'm going to go with Japan. Tunisia could get some points, but I think overall Japan's going to win. It's going to be tough for them though. They're not in the right headspace, but they're going to win, I think. And if they don't, oy, that might really bug them out. All right, so that is for June 20th. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of fun doing this. Oh, it's the wrong card. This one's supposed to go here. I hope you are enjoying this as well. Please tell me who you want to win the World Cup in the comments. Do you have a favorite team? And yeah, so again, this was for June 20th. Today is June 13th. It is almost 3:40 p.m. Eastern time for me. And now I'm going to go over my in-laws, and I'm sure they're going to be watching games, and I'll see what happens. So have a good afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time it is for you. And thank you for being here with me. Bye.